So in the previous tutorial, we have seen as to how we can mesh a cylinder structurally well. Uh, in terms of mesh, we are talking. So the geometry, surfaces, volumes are there. Let's let be X is there. So one of the important features that I want to highlight in this tutorial is the usage of something called as bump. Okay. So whenever we define some number of points, it shows progressive. Let's have a look at its script. So here it says this progression one, progression one. So what does that mean essentially? Yeah. So let's have a look with some basic geometry. So let's have a new tutorial. So let's name it as tutorial 5. All files save. Use UI extension, open cascade, and we're ready to go. Access is removed. Let's create a very simple geometry. Yeah. Elementary entities, add a point. Origin works. Closed. Then Q to abort. We are having one point. Let's remove the axis and reset a viewport. Now that you are having a point, let's use extrusion directly. Translate it into, let's say, x direction. X is 1, Z is 0. There is no need of extrude mesh. So using this, using a point, and then E, and then Q. So extrusion of point gives line, and extrusion of line should give a surface. So again extrude, translate, the y direction, let's say 0.5, E, and then Q. Extrusion of point gives line, extrusion of line gives surface, extrusion of surfaces gives volume. No need of volume in this tutorial. Let's try something like transfinite. So what we are doing is transfinite curve. Number of points are 10, 10 here and 10 here. E and 5 here, 5 here and 5 here. Okay, then E and then Q to abort. Now at this time we are having some 10 number of points defined, and this is also defined. Let's mesh it off. Are we ready? Transparent surface is pending. The arrangement can be alternated. E and then Q to abort. Then recombining the surface is also very important operation. E Q to abort. E to apply, Q to abort. Now 1D, 2D. It is completely a well box geometry. 3D will not work because it is 100% 2D. Shall we make it little finer? Let's increase number of points to twice. So let's say 20 number of points here and 10 here. Closing it off, then reload, and then 2D again. Yeah, it looks well. Now in this geometry, we are trying to understand the value of the importance of the progression, bump, and the other things. So during transfinite, no, when we apply transfinite, so there are some three options, of which progression and bump are mostly used, and we will look into that. Progression and bump, what are these and how we change, and this is the parameter. So let's change the script and have a visualization side by side, which is the way I normally prefer. So it is edit script. Yeah. Okay. Now what I'll be doing is I'll make it as 0.5, 0.5 in the progression. Reload the script and then 2D. Notice the change. There are 20 points in this line, but then every other next point, every next point is just is just half of the distance of the previous one. So let's say if this length is 10 units, this will be 5. This will be 2.5, 1.25. Okay, 0.625, 0.625, 0. Something by 2 by 2 by 2. It goes like something like that. So if I make it 0. Let's say 8, the effect should be more pronounced and easily visible. No, no, reload script and then 2D. Yeah, better visibility, or let's say zero point 0.9 for that matter. Reload the script, then 2D. Yeah, effect is now well observed. Similarly, you can have it as 1.1, so you can have a consistent increment of 1.1 times the distance. Yeah. What is the transparent curve 2, 3? What is curve 2, 3? So this is 2 and this is 3. So as you can see at the top it is like this and at the bottom it is like this. If I increase the number to let's say 1.2. So normally the values used in the simulations are zero point 0.8 and 1.2. Yeah. Now the mesh is more dense here and the and less dense, the ultra less dense here, or we can say the sparse here. So this is the value of the progression. Now we can have the similar effect here if we interchange the value. Let's make it as 1.2 and here let's say it is 0. 0.9. Reload the script and then you are having 1D, 2D and 3D. It is a more dense here instead of here. Now what if I want to make mesh more dense at the center and at each and every corner? How can we achieve that? So there is something called as bump. Okay, so we'll apply the bump for a part. So the bump is here, transparent curve. There you get this bump. So instead of selecting it, I will just directly write bump here. Instead of progression, use bump. Thank you for the spell check. Otherwise, large number of pumping errors. So reload the script and then 2D. Okay. Is there any effect? Is there any reload the script again? Bump 1D, 2D. There is no change somehow. Let's see if point 2 works or something like that. Reload the script and then 2D. Yeah. So when you make it 0 0.2, meaning the last cell will be 0 0.2 times of this one. While in the progression, it is progressing. I mean the next one is that much time the previous one. So let's say if you were having the magnitude of zero point 0.9, so the next one is zero point 0.9 times the previous length of it. With bump, it is like you are having the last cell which is zero point 0.2 times of this. So all of the mesh is now concentrated at the corners. What if I want to make it concentrated near the center? So let's use 5. I'm sorry, the cursor is going a little weird. So it is 5 now. Control S, reload the script, and 2D. Everything is concentrated at the center. So this is the importance of adjusting your mesh accordingly. The effect, the usage will be more pronounced and will be very useful once you go for the simulations using OpenFOAM, because there will be constraint on the computation always, and you need to optimize your mesh according to the area you want to analyze. This is the very simple trick that we use whenever you feel short of computation, and it is a very good practice to optimize your computation irrespective where you are having a huge machine or not. This is the very good practice, and this gives your understanding about the meshing and pre-processing parts. So we have seen the impact and the importance of the progression and bump in this tutorial. Hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for your patience listening. Thank you so much.